Theodore Roosevelt once said, "The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best, if he wins, knows the thrills of high achievement, and if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat."
All right, welcome back. This is a special edition of Day Before Rehab podcast. I got my boy Rich Tafe here. The reason why we're together right now, I guess about a week and a half ago, you hit me up about putting something together that was special, that meant something to you, a way for us to give back.
Yep.
Right? So about last Saturday, Rich and I, we had lunch. We talked about what could we possibly do together as a team to help give back to the recovery community in a way that people could see the benefits that sobriety has given us, and also a chance for us to show them what sobriety could give to their lives. So we want to get into it a little bit?
Yeah. So we came up. We wanted to give back, and we wanted to do something that. So real quick, when I was a member of the tradings group, we used to use our seventh tradition and take it to a family who lost someone in addiction.
Right.
Kind of what we're doing here is kind of we want to take our message to people who are still in active addiction and who still have still have that chance to be that miracle for their family. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
Well, that's where. So we'll talk about we're free flowing here, right? We have a plan. We put together something that we're going to get into. This is something totally unique for Rich and myself. We came up with the term "be the miracle," right? You hear that a lot in recovery. The people that are in the worst possible situations imaginable are able to change their whole entire lives with sobriety one day at a time and become the miracle, right? Be the miracle. And what is be the miracle? What does that mean to you?
Be the miracle is, so it's, taking your life from despair and from the worst possible spot you could be in, you know what I mean? From the abandoned buildings to the low points with your family members and everything to, come a year later, come 10 years later, everything's totally different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what that means to me is these people that are down there, they have the chance to be the miracle. They have the chance to be the next Big Joe, who was on your podcast. Dana Tomeo, you know what I mean? These people who are miracles and who have built these amazing lives for themselves. You, in this past year, doing things. You know what I mean? You had Matt Rathgab on here, who had, you know what I mean? These people are all miracles, and something like this is the next miracle. Is down there now. You know what I mean? So,
Rich, when Rich is referring to down there, we're talking about, Kensington, right? We came up with a plan, be the miracle. We're going to set up a Hoodie and food drive on Sunday, December 15th, right? We're going to go down to Kensington and Allegheny. We're going to set up at 11 o'clock. And our plan for the day is to pass out hoodies, right, that show Be the Miracle on the hoodie with a 1-800 helpline number that I got this number from my counselor at Caron Treatment Center. There's not one number specifically that, someone can call and just get into a treatment program, a detox, or get some kind of help to change their situation. But the number that we're going to put out is a number that could help the most people. It's a starting point, right? To be the miracle, if you call the number, right, the 1-800 number that we're going to provide on the podcast, it's a starting point to get help. And that was our goal, right? That's our goal, to get down there for that afternoon, to pass out hoodies. And, your idea was great. If you see all these people at Kensington and Allegheny, wearing the same hoodie, this is our hope, that someone, whether it's 1, whether it's 100, it doesn't matter. If someone calls that number and changes their way of life, then they are the miracle. And that's how we came up with the term, be the miracle.
Yep.
Right?
Yes. And because people are down there, they don't have much, and they, having a, and just giving back, giving a gift for them. Like, some people, this is all they're going to have. You know what I mean? This is all they're going to have is a new hoodie for Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, their Christmas is going to be down there. And, having that hoodie and numerous people wearing it, it's, I had that moment, I had that spare moment when it was raining, you know what I mean? And it's just like, how did it get to this point? I was down in Kensington, Somerset, and how did it get this point? And, someone, might have that day and then, might have that hoodie on, or see someone with that hoodie on, see that, be the miracle. They start thinking, like, you know what I mean? And they call that number, you know what I mean? And their process gets started. Their miracle process gets started.
Yeah. You hear a lot in recovery rooms about people's bottoms, and regardless of where that is at for an individual, the bottom is the bottom.
Yep.
And once you recognize that you have hit that, then there's only one way to go, and that's up, right? And that's kind of our goal. If people are struggling down the way, Kensington and Allegheny, and they recognize in that moment that they're at their bottom, and they see someone with these hoodies on, right? And they see this number and they call, then that is officially their bottom. They have called the number, and now they're at the starting point to recovery. And that's what our goal is. We have no idea what this is going to turn into after this. We wanted to create something together, and we wanted to call it Be the Miracle because that's important to both of us, and we just want to help. And we're welcome any suggestions. And what we're going to do is, when I post the podcast, we're going to put the Venmo. The Venmo is going to be the Miracle 1. Any support along the way, any donations to help us hit our goal of, I think we're looking for at least 250 sweatshirts, 250 sandwiches. We're going to get 250 green cards. And I think that's our goal for starters.
We're going to have, Anthony, myself, guys at work, guys at Big Kev, and, going to have people down there, and we want to, just be down there and talk to them. We want to spend some time with them, and maybe one of them will remember some of the things that we can talk about. And, this is something that, I think, just someone being genuinely nice to people, because sometimes, you get people with that stigma, they get that stigma, and they, but like, that's us.
Yep.
The people down there is us, you know what I mean? And, their life can change just like ours.
And that's the beauty of sobriety. It's the beauty of the way we live, because you see someone in the worst possible shape imaginable, and regardless of where your bottom was, the feelings and emotions that these people are feeling are intimately close to us because we felt the same way. And, this is our chance to help, right? So if anyone is interested in, donating, giving back, helping us along the way, whether it's support, whether it's a financial donation, what we'd like to do is, unless you want to remain anonymous, we'd like to give you shouts out on the Day Before Rehab podcast, Instagram, on TAFE's, what's your Instagram again?
TAFE Development.
TAFE Development Instagram. We're going to put clips on YouTube. We're going to try to get this message out, the best we can for what we have, our capabilities today. This may turn into something bigger down the road, and that's our goal. But, all the support, we'd love to, have you be recognized on our social media platforms, to let people know that, hey, this person helped us out, that person helped us out, this person support. And even on the day, even on December 15th, if you want to come and help us, yes. we welcome that.
Yes. Yes.
So real quick, we created a mission statement, or what we think Be the Miracle can be, what it is for us, and what we hope it is for other people. Be the Miracle was inspired by countless men and women who have journeyed from hopelessness to recovery. We believe in becoming the person who transforms despair into hope, inspiring others to find their strength. Our mission is to give back by guiding others on their path to recovery, so that together we can create a world where every life touched by addiction finds a way forward. And that's important to us. On the front of our flyer that we're going to pass out, our digital flyer, is something that's very important to Rich. You want to get into that?
Yeah. It's, it says "Be the Miracle," and you see the picture in the background. It's George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life, and that's something that me and my wife, like, we watch It's a Wonderful Life every year around the holidays, and every time that George Bailey goes to the bridge and says, I want to live again, we start crying. I'm getting choked up thinking about it because we do it, like, we laugh. You know what I mean? At each other crying because, he says, I want to live again. And, and we feel that every time that we watch it, because we've all been in that situation. You talk about it, through the podcast, when, kneeling in the bathroom there. And I talked about it when I was on the podcast that, like walking down Kensington Avenue and just saying, God, get me into Kensington Detox. I'll do whatever it takes. That was my George Bailey moment, at the bridge. And, and you see as the movie goes on after that part, all these people coming to help, people dropping money in there. I'm sure most people have seen that movie, but dropping money in there and, and Clarence writes the message in the book. And it's a great movie. It's my favorite holiday movie. And that's why I chose that and it's him saying that prayer because I know numerous people have said that prayer and someone down there will, our hopes is that they say that prayer, they want to live again and they move forward and they start the miracle.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And the reason why this touches us personally so much is because, we talked about it before we started, like there's so much stigma with addiction, alcoholism, whether it's a disease, whether it's not a disease, none of that matters. What matters is people are in fucking pain, daily, suffering with addiction, alcoholism. They become such a terror. They're labeled as terrors and just horrible people in society. And, we want to help these people because we were helped in the same way. Rich has 10 years sober. I just celebrated a year sober. He's been in my life, since 25, 30 years at this point. And we've been at the bottom, right? We've felt the despair. We've felt the pain that we've caused our family, our loved ones, our employers. We felt all that. So if there's any way we can help give back, this is our way of doing that. And that's why this is important to us. It's a big deal. This is new for us. We go to work every day. We go to meetings. We help other alcoholics. And we wanted to take it a step further. And I think that's where Be the Miracle is why it's created.
We say it all the time, gratitude's an action word. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just showing gratitude and we're grateful for the life that we have. And the only way we keep that is by giving it to someone else or helping someone else attain those things.
Yeah.
And,
well, and especially down Kensington, Allegheny. I mean, there's, social media dedicated to the despair of Kensington and Allegheny. You see it. People go down there, and I'm not saying we're the first ones trying to help, but, let's not sensationalize what's going on down there. Let's try to make something happen and help.
Yeah, because from Northeast Philadelphia, from St. Catherine to Siena Parish to the suburbs of Bucks County to, wherever, suburbs of New Jersey, these are people from that neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, there is people who are former school teachers, there's former, there's mothers, there's fathers, there's, people who had, college scholarships who, got caught up in addiction and they ended up down there. So it's not just that homeless, I grew up, it was that the guy out front of Wawa with the bottle of liquor. You know what I mean? Like that, he was a bum. You know what I mean? And that's the way, but it's not that anymore. It's someone's child. It's someone's daughter who maybe been successful. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not, there's no, that stigma is like, it's, there's people down there who
addiction doesn't discriminate.
It does not discriminate.
It does not discriminate.
Yes.
Yes. And the crazy part I think for us specifically is my dad was at Kensington and Somerset copper. Like he went down there and he got drugs daily on his break time at work. That's what he would do. My sister, very familiar with Kensington and Allegheny, that whole life, very familiar. My dad died with 20 years sober. My sister has 17 years sober. Myself, I would go down there to a specific corner like it was something I was so familiar with and get Suboxones. I would do it daily. And, and you're very familiar with Kensington and that life, and it's like, so, and look, and it's not like a look at us now moment, but we found our bottom, 10 years sober, 1 year sober. And, that took a lot of fucking work.
Yes.
But we had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You have to start somewhere. And I think that's our goal. Be the miracle. Start. What's the start?
We were talking about like the miracle moment. And I'm sitting here now, I was thinking of it. You know what I mean? Like when I was down there, I remember going to this abando every day to do my thing, and I would stay there. And, I remember the one morning it was like, a guy was taking his kid to school, and I see him taking his kid to school, and it was on Clementine Street. And, I remember thinking like, that's all I want.
Right.
That simple life. Like, you know what I mean? That's all that, you know what I mean? And, and I'm sitting here thinking about that. It's, my miracle moment is like, today I have that life. You know what I mean? And, I would see him walking this kid to school, and I want that life. And then my next thought is like, all right, dude, hurry up. I got to climb in this back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want that life, just not today.
Yeah. But my miracle is, you know what I mean? Like today I drop my kid off at school almost every morning, when my wife's working, and that's the full circle. You know what I mean? Like, and it took, a lot of work and everything to have it. But today my miracle is I get to take my kid to school, and I get to, see him and joke with him on the ride to school and stuff like that. And that's,
That's amazing. And we were, like we said, we were talking before the podcast, and, my addiction put such a wedge between my daughter and my relationship. And, and to a point where I think she thought it was unfixable. I thought it was unfixable. And after a year of sobriety, I had her on the podcast last week, and she said to me, my dad was her go-to. My dad was someone that if something good was happening in my daughter's life, something bad was happening in my daughter's life, she'd rather talk to him than anyone. And now today, I'm that person, along with her mother. And this was something that would not have been possible without sobriety, without AA, without just a spiritual connection. And these are things I thought were so fucking corny. God and AA, spiritual connection, helping others, making meetings. And it's only because of that I'm sitting here today with one of my best friends on the planet, attempting to give back something that was so freely given to us. And this is important for us. This is important.
Yes.
Be the Miracle, Holiday Hoodie and Food Drive, December 15th, 2024, from 11 to 3 p.m. at the corner of Kensington and Allegheny. Like I said, if you're interested in helping, supporting in any way, shape, or form, the Venmo is Be the Miracle 1. We're going to tag that on the, however the podcast company edits it, we're going to put that on this brief podcast so everyone could see. You can reach out to the Day Before Rehab Instagram, TAFE Development Instagram, and I'm sure some of you that will see this message will see us in the rooms if you want to discuss personally.
We both know a lot of business owners that are definitely going to want to help, and you know what I mean, and stuff like that, because their life, a lot of successful business owners.
And that's the crazy part. When Rich says that, a lot of the successful business owners that we know in Alcoholics Anonymous are very intimately familiar with the life that goes on down in Kensington and Somerset, and all those areas down there. Like, they're very familiar with that. So to see these guys be the miracle, to see Rich be the miracle, it's like, this is huge. This is huge for us. And we have no idea what this is going to turn into. But in our own way, like, we had to start, right? It's kind of like, it's very similar to what the message we're trying to put out for someone to just start the recovery process is very similar to us just starting to Be the Miracle process. We have no idea what this is going to turn into. This could be the first of many. It could be the only one. It's the same as recovery. It's like, we're going to get out of it what we put into it.
Yes.
And this is the way we feel like we should start. This is our opportunity to give back, and it's huge for us. And like I said, if anybody wants to support, if they want to remain anonymous, I personally would like to give them shout outs and let them know how, if they do support, that they help make this happen. But that, we can discuss that as time goes on. We have about 6 weeks before the event, and we just wanted to get a kind of a little message out there to let people know where we're at and what our plans are.
Yep. And kind of explain everything that we're doing. And, We're like you just said, we're kind of just, you know what I mean, just starting it.
Yeah.
Like just like starting a podcast or starting a business.
Yeah, my wife calls me a wing dinger.
Just like,
and
you got to start somewhere.
We got to start somewhere. We're winging it. We created a message. We're going to put it out. We're going to see how it grows, and we're just going to keep it going. So we want to thank anyone for their support, advice, any direction they may be able to help us with. This is new for us. Just a couple of dudes from the Northeast attempting to help others in a different way.
Yep.
Good?
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be touching on this on our social media, Deep Before Rehab podcast, Instagram, tape development. You'll see kind of like, we'll just track our journey as best we can up into December 15th. Get the message out there, and thank you. Thank you for everybody to watch. Thanks for anybody who wants to support. You can reach out to us directly, and we'll go from there.
Yep.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean,
There it is.
Guess I want to end it this way.
Love you, bro.
Yeah.
We love you, Dad.
I love all of you.
We love you, Darnell.
I love you too. Wow, that was nice. And I tell you what, let's go.